everybody, it's Rob back again with another video. How are ya? It's 2018, Happy New Year to everybody, and I'm going to kick off the new year with this Lightroom tips video. And these are my 5 tips that you may or may not know, and let's get straight to it. I'm excited for the new year and we're going to get involved with this video. I'm just talking about rubbish, never mind, let's move on. So here we have a shot that I took with my drone, and this isn't the best shot, but it will be fine for these tips that I'm going to give you. It's 5 tips, and we're going to go in with number 1. And number 1 is if we start at the basic panellet, and on the right hand side, if we move all the way down to the bottom of this panel, we have camera calibration. And to start off with, we can adjust the kind of temperature and overall look of any shot using these RGB sliders at the bottom. And this is kind of a way to calibrate how your camera looks when it is bringing the shots into Lightroom. But we can adjust these to change the look of the photo. So here we have the blue primary at the bottom, we have a hue slider and a saturation slider, and we can straight away change how it looks. We can add in some blue saturation and green and stuff to boost the overall look of this picture. That is tip number 1, the camera calibration. I'm going to reset these. Tip number 2 is we can go into the split toning. No, we're going to go to the tone curve, and I've never actually heard anyone talk about this one, so this may be a new one, and hopefully it's a new one to you. So if we click on this right hand side here in the tone curve, we can put some points on the curve, which we have done here, and then we can adjust these curves, or the parts of this curve in between the markers that we put. But if you adjust it, it kind of goes a bit, it's quite erratic and hard to control. And this is a tip: if you hold down Alt or Option on your keyboard, I take it works with Windows as well, I'm using a Mac, then if you hold down Alt or Option, then when you click and drag, it's very, very slow. If I let go of Alt or Option and I move up, look how quickly it moves. Now I'm going to hold down the Option key, and look, it's very easy, more controlled adjustment now. So if I'm going to pull this down, I'm going to bring it down, and I can keep going down, click down. But without it pressed, it's very erratic. So that is tip number 2. Tip number 3, if we go into the detail for our sharpening, we can bring up the sharpening slider to increase the sharpening of the photo. We've got the radius here underneath, and that is set at 1. If we hold down our Alt key again, we get different options. If we hold down the Alt key there, we can reset the sharpening here. So we click that, and that will reset everything. So we want to bring the sharpening up, and if we hold down Alt or Option and click on the radius, the image changes, and it gives us a way to kind of check the edge sharpening, just so we don't get that kind of HDR look. And it's an easier way to see if we're over sharpening or not. And that goes for the detail as well. If we click on the detail, it changes to this kind of black and white image again, just so we can see if we're overdoing it on the edges. And as part of this tip, if we hold down the Option key again and we click on the masking, we can see this masking areas where it's going to mask the sharpening. So black areas, it's not going to apply the mask. The black areas, it's not going to apply the sharpening, and the white areas is where the sharpening will take place. So we can leave that on there, and it sharpens the edges of the beach and everything like that. That is cool. Let's go into the HSL, and tip number 4 or 3? Tip number 4, I don't even know where I'm at now. If we click on this small icon here, we can click on it to select it, and now we can click anywhere on the image and it will select the colors in that area. So if I want to increase the blues in this sky, I can click in the sky and push up with my mouse, and if you look on the right on the panel on the blue slider, it is increasing, it is going to the right. So if we go down to the water beach and click, let's see which slider we're going to use. So we're going to click on the yellow, we're going to bring up the yellows, and if I click in the trees somewhere, that is yellow as well. And let's go and see if we can get the greens. So that is a green and yellow together. So it's an easy way for more selective adjustments. However, when you use this, you're not just increasing or decreasing the color in that area, you are just choosing the color of that area. So if you have the similar color elsewhere on the image, just be aware that that's going to change that color as well. And for our fifth and final tip, and this is a good one, we're going to go into our basic panel here, and this works on any image and is such a time saver. So we've made a few adjustments, but we want a nice white point and a nice black point. If you hold down shift, this is a pro tip. If you hold down shift and double click on the white, it will give you your white point. If you hold down shift and click on the blacks, it will give you the black point. And that is it. That is my 5 tips. Whew. That is the first video of the new year. That is my Lightroom 5 tips that you may or may not know to speed up your editing. Hopefully there'll be more videos coming out like this, and I'm thinking of doing a beginner kind of course, just beginner videos for Lightroom. I've been using it long enough, I think, so I might be able to help out a few others. That is it from me. Subscribe for more videos like this. I will see you soon. See you later. Bye bye. Take care.